Hello, I am Palav Singh and today I am going to represent monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross is the cross in which we studied, mono means single, in which we studied the inheritance of single character or trait. As we know that Mendel studied 7 contrasting characters or traits. So here we are using height as an example. We are using height as an example. Let's take two plants based on the height. One plant is pure tall and another plant is dwarf. When Mendel crossed tall and dwarf plant, then he find that in F1 generation all the plants were tall. When he self-crossed these plants, then he found that most of the plants were tall, while there are some plants having dwarf phenotype. It means that in F2 generation, or you can say filial second generation, he get both kinds of plants, that is the tall one and dwarf one too. So from his experiment he conclude that there may be some kind of thing there may be some kind of thing which is inherited from one generation to another generation without any kind of blending. So he gave a term factor for it. Today we call them genes. As we know that for F1 generation plant, 2 parents are required. It means that all the plants having diploid genotype. What kind of genotype? Diploid genotype. Diploid genotype means that there are 2 copies for a particular gene. Diploid means that there are 2 copies of a particular gene. Suppose that there is a character, as we already written in example, that character is their height, and we represent height by alphabet T. As we know that we can write T in 2 forms. One is uppercase and lowercase one. Uppercase means the capital letter T and lowercase is the small letter. For our convenience, we use these things that uppercase or the capital letter represent the dominant allele and the lowercase or the small letter represent the recessive allele. Here I am using the term allele. Allele. Allele means that these are the different forms of a particular gene. Okay, these are the different forms of a particular gene. In this example, as I already told that Mendel used pure lines. Pure lines means that here tall plant is homozygous. That is, homozygous means both the alleles are same. So I am writing here capital T, and for dwarf I am writing small t. It means that both tall and dwarf plant both are pure line. In F1 generation all plants are tall, but here as we know that from by this formula 2 की power n means heterozygous condition, number of heterozygous condition, Here heterozygous condition is 0. So 2 की power means n is 0 here. So 2 की power 0 is 1. So the type of gametes produced by tall plant is only one type. So the gamete produced by tall plant is this. Similarly, gamete produced by dwarf plant is small t. In F1 generation, when both of these gametes fused with each other, then here in F1 generation we are getting capital T and small t. But plants look tall, it means that in F1 generation, among these alleles, only one allele able to express itself, while other allele not able to express itself. So, from F1 generation, Mendel draw law of dominance. Law of dominance. And what does the law of dominance represent? Law of dominance represents that in F1 generation, the character or the allele which is able to express itself is called the dominant one, and the allele which not able to express itself is called the recessive one. So here capital T represent the dominant allele, and small t is represented as a recessive allele. Now to obtain the F2 generation, we are doing selfing. So selfing means that we are using two plants from F1 generation. Here is plant 1 from F1 generation. As we know that there is heterozygous condition, and again heterozygous condition is 1 here, so 2 to the power 1 is 2. It means that for F1 generation there are two types of gametes. So for plant 1 of F1 generation, the two type of gamete is capital T1 and small t1. Similarly, for plant 2 of F1 generation, similarly there are two gametes, two type of gametes are there, capital T and small t. When we make them, then we are getting that capital T is there, capital T small t is there, then again small t. So it represents that there are 3 tall plant and 1 is dwarf plant. So when we just observing their phenotype, then we will find that the ratio of tall and dwarf plant is 3:1. So this 3:1 represents the phenotype. Phenotype means physical appearance, how they are looks like. Okay, but if you go in their genotype, then the ratio of their genotype is capital T, small t, and small t. Their ratio is 1:2:1. It means that their genotypic ratio, that is genotypic ratio means their genetic makeup. Genotypic ratio means their genetic makeup. Their genetic makeup is 1:2:1. Okay.